Thanks, Claudine. And it's a great honour and privilege to welcome you here. As Claudine said, my name is James Libson, and I've been here for 25 years now. Last Friday, I think, 25 years. Thank you. Exactly half my life. And so it's kind of a moment to contemplate. I'm the executive partner. I run our private business, which is looking after mainly individuals and their interests and their problems, and etc. But I also am what we call the executive partner here. So I help our managing partner do a lot of the stuff around the firm, managing the firm. And Claudine asked me just to talk a little bit about our commitment to diversity and why it's important to us, and also our commitment to our people taking on other roles in other organisations. Claudine is a fantastic example of setting up other businesses, getting involved in other things outside of the business world, and why it's a benefit for us. So I don't want to bore you with platitudes, and obviously diversity is a good thing. We are very committed to it, and it's much more difficult to achieve than it is to say that you want to achieve it. And I think that's a problem and an issue that lots of businesses and organisations face. And the first stage of facing it is being honest about trying to get there. We do things for two reasons. We do things because it's the right thing to do, and we do it because it's good for business. We find that in all of the things that we get committed to, whether it's diversity, whether it's good employment practices, whether it's working within the community, it helps our employees, it helps our partners, but actually it helps our business. It exposes people to different types of skills. It allows our workforce to be more representative and to be able to understand and assist our clients in different ways and bring different perspectives to what we do, the advice we give, the environment that we create here. And we have found that all the good things that people aspire to tend to be the good things for the bottom line as well. And while you can combine that virtuous circle, it means the task of being virtuous is a lot easier than otherwise it would be. And while we are nowhere close to where we would like to be from a diversity point of view in some aspects of our diversity. So, for example, on gender diversity, we are nowhere close to having the amount of women we want in the senior levels, echelons of the firm, whereas we are good at the more junior levels. We hope it's a process that we are working for through, and that's true in relation to all aspects of our commitment to diversity. But the message, I would say, from our point of view and our success is that creating an environment that is as open to as much diversity as possible has been incredibly good for our business. And if there's any message that I would pass on to other businesses and organisations is don't be afraid of diversity because it's going to be good for you. As to commitment to people taking on tasks outside of their roles here, we're also very committed to that, and for the same reason. Again, it's good for the world, but it's been very, very good for our business. I read an article in the Financial Times a few weeks ago about how the perfect candidate in businesses, going through businesses, or the perfect career will be people who have spent significant amounts of time in the private sector, significant amounts of time in the public sector, and significant amounts of time in the third sector as well. And it's a model that this country hasn't adapted to very well. People in the private sector tend to spend their whole careers in the private sector with little exposure to the other sectors, and vice versa. And there's not a good exchange of information, of an experience and skills. And I think it diminishes our existence in all three sectors. And certainly we have found more and more that when people come to us from the public sector, for example, or people have done things like Teach First, those are skills that add enormously to the skill base of our organisation, and again, it's good for business. It's not always a career path that allows us to achieve that mix, and therefore we encourage people to take on non-executive roles on charities, in voluntary organisations. We create mechanisms by which people can actually find positions outside of the organisation where they're going to accrue some of these skills. So part of the investment that we've made over the last few years is to create an exchange for people who want to take on trustee roles in charities, where we're actually, because one of the difficult things is to actually find the opportunities for people. Even though charities are crying out for expertise and people who are committed, actually finding those opportunities is a difficult thing. So we've decided to find those opportunities for our people and make sure that they're properly trained to take them on and make sure that, that they can contribute properly once they have taken them on. I myself am just coming to the end of a 5-year term as the chair of a large international development organisation, and I have found that the skills that I have picked up in working with an organisation, working in a different environment, different paces, different imperatives, different things that have to happen, life-changing things and emergency situations, and having to react and make decisions in a completely different environment has meant that I've got a lot more skills that I can bring back for the benefit of my organisation. And so the commitment that we have, although it sounds nice and altruistic, is also a selfish commitment because everything we do in the end, actually, if we do it well, benefits the organisation. So those are my few wise words. I hope that's what Claudine wanted me to speak about, and I now can hand over to whoever I'm supposed to be handing over to.